I'm sure it's hard for a lot of people to handle someone saying that they remember all things because that's when people need what they call proof because it's hard for them just to believe someone when the world is full of lying people who want to take advantage of them. I do not want to take advantage of anybody. I want to give the advantage to everybody because the advantage is knowledge. Having people tell you stuff and then you agreeing with it and listening to it for so long, you think that's what it is? That's not knowledge. That's you being reformed and you being misinformed. Now, I can't explain some of the depth of how it goes into things, but like last time our light bulb popped, I remember thinking to myself, this is just because there's people who don't want you to have light bulbs at work for a long time, because I remember a life that I once lived where I invented bulbs that could burn for so long, they would last your whole lifetime. Because now they have people out there taking the filaments out and replacing them with little tiny wires that'll be guaranteed to burn out within 6 months to a year, so that you have to buy more. It's just a plot to get more money from people. And if you don't really get the fact that if you had a handful of money and you slowly just threw them dollar bills into the ground or into a fire and burned them, your life energy would in no way lower. You wouldn't be like, oh, I've only got $2 left. Throwing in, oh my gosh, I'm going to die if I lose this dollar. And you throw your last dollar in the fire. Oh, I'm dead now because I don't have money to give other people the idea that I have value. Now, this is the malarkey that's going on inside of the brains of all people, because everyone who's alive right now at this time in the whole world was brought into a world where money and status were your proving grounds. There may be indigenous tribes that are still left that don't really do anything with money, but they live together as a family, together. The whole tribe, the whole group, all of them. It's not saying that there aren't disagreements and that there's not anger issues, because they still have things to do with their minds to develop. And I can help them too, with the help of other people, because I'm only one body right now. One body with the knowledge of all is a very hard thing to hold. I've been other people who've had experiences like this, but then also were stuck in their normal life and ended up committing suicide because they couldn't deal with the fact that the world they were in did not make sense. And they couldn't put it into words because their brains were still holding on to other stuff. They were eating the wrong kinds of foods that give your stomach the wrong kind of material to produce the wrong kinds of feed for the rest of your body, giving you the wrong kind of messages, and also allowing you to be distorted very easily. Now, if you don't get that, take the example of taking a glass of water, pure and fresh, and dumping some orange pop into it. Now, that water is going to get sticky after a while, and someone else could drink that, and someone could tell them it's water, and it harms their body little by little by little. Now, there's plenty of people out there who never drink water, never drink juice. They only drink pop and syrupy drinks and all kinds of weird stuff because their taste buds have control of their mentality. If you're like, oh man, I love me a big greasy burger and a big pizza. Oh yeah, with all the toppings. Put that meat on there, load it on there good. Put all that cheese on there, load it up good. It's just going to clog my arteries, but I don't care. And then I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to think to myself, why does my stomach hurt? Oh, because your stomach brain is saying, what is all this information you're giving me? This is an overload of stuff that doesn't make sense. You have all this dead material in you, and you're trying to feed it to me to live. So I've got to synthesize something out of this, and it gives you misinformation. It gives you rashes. It gives you brain fog and headaches. It gives you pimples and warts and germs, and worst of all, disease and factors of your death. And nobody wants to hear that, because it's too hard for them to get it. And it's too hard for them to stop letting their taste buds and their misinformed minds rule their lives. Nobody needs money. Nobody needs all kinds of entertainment. They're all conveniences. Money isn't a convenience. Money is a leash. Because if you don't have money in this world, nobody will either listen to you and nobody will help you, because what are they going to get out of it? But when you tell them what you're going to get out of this is the best possible thing you could get in life, they won't believe it, because their whole life they thought that status and money mattered. So they're going to be like, you're crazy. But the truth is, they are. And it's not that it's bad. You're allowed to be crazy. I mean, think about it. You're allowed to have your own opinion. You're allowed to think horror movies are awesome. You're allowed to think this tastes good. You're allowed to think this and that and all the other things that you can think. But do you think that means it's right? Sorry to say, but it's not. So what people need to do is to try a little bit harder to get their act together, because all it is an act. You were named a name, you lived in a place, the people you knew and your friends you saw and all the shows and the things you've watched throughout your life have formed you, and you've allowed them to. And most people, even if they're on their deathbed at 90, are still allowing the world to shape the way they act and think. They might be like, no, I'm an individual. I'm like, you're an individual? How? What do you do differently than everybody else? They may have a couple little details here and there, but they still live in the money game. They're still looking to be known and recognized. Or some of them have given up completely on other people because they don't understand what the hell people are making a big deal out of with all the shit in the world. But they themselves also have misinformed minds. With all the history books we teach people, we say, remember our history, remember our troops, remember. The only reason we do that is so that we hold ourselves down. Now, if somebody goes over to a place where there's innocent people in a soldier suit and is told to take out anything or anyone there, and they do it, is that a hero? No, not at all. In fact, it's a horrible person. It's a villain. Now, I'm not saying people know that they're doing wrong things. They think they're doing the right thing. And you know why they think they're doing the right thing? Because they've been misinformed and brainwashed that you're a hero. You are a hero. And then they get the whole world behind them. He's a hero. A hero. And she's a hero out there in the military. No, it's not. Military. Oh boy. So, I mean, how many movies and how many shows and how many things have you watched where the bad guy is the politician, or the bad guy is the suit and tie, or the bad guy is the one who seems like he's supposed to be doing good for people? Well, that's not because it's somebody's idea. It's because subconsciously, even unconsciously, people are putting out the messages that their minds tell them from the universal mind. But then they have their own opinions and their own objectives, and they add that stuff and that detail to it. So that's why I have tons of movies that have a really meaningful thing, but lots of gore and nudity and violence in it. Because people know what other people like. I know what people truly want. They want the happiness and they want the peace within their soul. But if you tell that to somebody who's too busy going. Let's go out and party. Let's go do this. Oh, let's get something to eat. You know, they're just not thinking. They're reacting all the time. They're just reactive people. Now, if they can sit and slow themselves down for a minute and really think about what matters, it'll all become a little more clear. And if you do it a little more often, it'll become way more clear. Now, if anybody needs any help, I'm willing to sit with anyone one-on-one. But all I'm asking is that you listen to me without cutting me off, because you're going to hear a lot of things you don't want to hear, but you need to. So, my arms are open, my arms are open, and my heart's open, and I'm here. I'm so here for everybody. I'm not here for what was once called Dan Alexander. That guy has died long ago, but in the best way possible, because now he can be reborn as part of the one, as one with the one, as in teaming with what is right and not allowing himself to be persuaded by misinformation and tendencies to want entertainment and excitement, because the truth is the most exciting thing, because it leads us to creating a brand new world. I hope that you guys hear what I'm saying. I love you. Peace.